everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Melody, a romance and YA author, and on my YouTube channel, my outline with sticky notes videos, they are the most popular videos on my channel. So I'm thinking you guys want to see more of these type of videos, and I'm happy to talk about sticky note outlining. I could talk about sticky note outlines like all day. Like, I just love this method that I came up with. Well, I mean, it's not really something that I came up with on my own. I just kind of put my own spin on it. But, you know, lots of other people outline with sticky notes. They have all different ways that they use the sticky notes. This is just how I do it. Now, if you want to go back and watch my sticky note outline videos, if you haven't seen them, which I think you have, but just in case this is the first video you have watched, you can definitely check out my other videos. They are the most popular uploads on my channel page. So just go to my channel page. You'll find them there. I'll also see if I'll put them up here at the top. So I've got my outlining with sticky note video. I'll put it up there somewhere. And then I have my how to outline a romance novel with sticky notes. I put that up there. And then also I have the video I did for Preptober. I was outlining my NaNoWriMo novel, and so I'll put that one up there as well. So definitely check out those videos if you like, if you've not watched them. But this is going to be a video that's a little bit different because I wanted to talk a little bit about how I outline when I don't know what is going to happen in the story. Now, like I say, my outline videos are so popular on my channel, or at least popular for a small YouTuber. They're pretty popular. But honestly, sometimes I feel kind of like an imposter because yes, I do outline, but I am not like this super detailed outliner. It looks like I'm a super outliner, but I'm really not, because a lot of times when I'm outlining, there are still pieces of the puzzle that I am missing. I can't possibly outline an entire story scene by scene at the beginning. I just can't do that because I need to get to know my characters and I need to put them in different situations, and sometimes that will inspire a different scene. So I kind of outline as I go. I do outlining beforehand. I set my plan, and then as I am writing, I am refining that outline throughout the story. So you can totally outline while you are writing. I think there's no problem at all with that because it has been working for me. But yeah, I'm not like some super detailed outliner. I like to actually call myself a plantser. I'm not a pantser. Like, I cannot just start writing and just not know where I'm going. I have to know where I am going, but I can't know everything. And I always like to compare outlining to a road trip. I like to know where I'm going, so I need to have my GPS, right? But that doesn't mean I can't take detours along the way. Sometimes, like, when I'm just driving around town and I'm driving somewhere and I'm going a certain way, and then I realize, hey, wait, let me go this way. This way will be a little bit easier. Maybe this way will be a little bit faster. So I can definitely make changes along the way. So that's how I like to think about outlining. So let's get started on how I outline when I don't know what's going to happen. Now, I know a little bit about what's going to happen. I don't go into a story completely blind. I know when I start a story, for me, I know where the story is going to start and I know where the story is going to end. So it's usually just that section in the middle, the muddy middle, that I have a problem with. I don't know everything that's going to happen. I just know they're going to get from point A to point B, but like, how are they going to do that? So I'm going to get a little closer to my sticky note board. And hopefully this won't be like blurry or out of focus. But what I like to do is before I start my story, okay, before I start writing, I will make a list of scenes. I will just go into a Google document, or you can use Word or Scrivener or whatever your word processing program is. And I just make a list of all the ideas that pop in my head. Because you probably have ideas in your head. When you get a story idea, you have ideas of things that are going to happen. You don't know how they're going to happen. You don't know a lot about the characters yet, or you don't know exactly what else is going to happen in the scene or how they're going to get there, but you know there is going to be a scene where such and such happens, right? So what I do is I make a list of all of those ideas. Then what I do is I go to my board and I write down all of those ideas on these little sticky notes, right? And is this going to be all of the ideas for the story? Is it going to be all the scenes? No, because I don't know everything that's going to happen in the story. But it's like putting a puzzle together. You know, when you put a puzzle together, first you put the border together and then you get little pieces that are similar, right? So like these are all like the pink pieces and like these are all the blue pieces, and you kind of like start to group them together and get them together. That's basically kind of what I'm doing here. So I got all of my scene ideas here and I try to put them in some kind of order. Like, well, I think this scene is going to happen towards the beginning of the story, and I think this scene is going to happen towards the middle of the story, you know? Now, that order can totally change, and a lot of times it does, but I'll have the scenes that I think are going to come first here on this side of my board. The scenes that are going to come later, I'll have on this side of the board. And then because they're the sticky notes, I can move them around, which is why I love using the sticky notes, because if you are like me, you write a scene and then later you think, you know what, I'm going to move that scene. That scene's going to go later in the story. So I can totally move these things. It's no big deal. Now, a lot of times what happens is as I am writing the story and as these scenes are playing out, I will get an idea for a new scene. So a lot of times that's what I just have to do. I have to start writing and then I get an idea for another scene. And I'm going to use that puzzle analogy again because, you know, when you're starting to put the puzzle pieces together, so like you got all of these pink pieces and you know it's probably going to make a flower, right? So you're putting together all of the little puzzle pieces, and then like at the edge of those pieces, you see some blue, okay? So then you know, okay, well there's that blue color. Here are the blue pieces over here, so that's going to build onto that. And then like maybe you'll see a little speck of yellow on one of the pieces, and then you start to get like all the yellow pieces together. And so you eventually build on what you're working on. And it's the same thing with my story, is that, yeah, I don't know what the whole puzzle is going to look like. I don't know what the whole story is going to look like. But as I am writing, I am building onto that. Now, back in 2020, I did take some online writing classes, which were really fun. I took them through Gale Courses, which is offered through my library's website. So your library might have that too. You can go onto your library's website. You have to have a library card, and you can see if your library has Gale Courses, and they have all kinds of different classes on there, and some of the classes are writing classes. So as I was taking these writing classes, I did like make little notes and things. And don't worry, this is not going to sound like an English class, because sometimes when people start talking about like all of these different story terms and they really start breaking them down, it's like it feels like an English class, and like I kind of just like tune it out. So don't worry, I'm not going to make this like an English class. But some of the tips that I learned in these writing classes were pretty helpful. So if you don't know what's going to happen, well, the first thing is start with your character. So your character has to have a goal, right? So you want your character to start out the story, they've got a goal, and why do they want that goal, first of all? Like, they want this goal, but why do they want it, right? And what is going to keep them from getting that goal? What is going to prevent them from reaching that goal? That is your conflict, right? So you got your goal, you got your motivation, and you got your conflict. And that's pretty much what the whole story is. Like, you got your character, they set out to do something, and at the end of the story, do they reach their goal? I know that sounds like so simple, but of course, you know, when you're writing it, it's so much harder. Another tip that I learned was this thing called scene and sequel. I've heard this a few times, and this is my understanding of it, is that you have a scene, which is your plot, which is your action. So something happens, like the goal, the conflict, or the disaster. Then after that, you need another scene where they react to it. So this is the sequel. So your character is going to react to what just happened. So the emotion, the thought, the decision, the action. I don't know if that makes any kind of sense, but you can just like kind of think of it this way. you have a scene where something happens, okay? Then you have to have a scene where your character reacts to that, right? They think about it, they have an emotion, they react to that scene. So think about those things as you're coming up with ideas for your story, and maybe that will help you get some more ideas for your scenes. Now this right here is my NaNoWriMo project that I have been working on, and I'm about at 60,000 words as of this filming of this video. And I do have some ideas, but I don't know everything that is going to happen. So I'm going to start writing some of these scenes, and I'm going to try to build on what I already have, basically. So I need to find a way for my characters to reach their goals. So I really have to go define what the goals are for my character. So I'm going to say, like, my character Melissa, like, her main goal is, well, she's already got her dream job. That's one of her goals already accomplished. But she really wants to settle down. She wants to find the right guy. She wants to have a family someday. And that's what her goal is, you know? But Trip, his goal is to win Melissa back. And so you have to find out, you know, at the end of the story, is he going to win her back? And at the end of the story, is Melissa going to find love? So I'm going to work on this story some more, and I'm going to try to get some scenes in place where I am getting my characters to their goal. I don't know. Does that make sense? I hope that makes some kind of sense. But it is okay if you do not know everything that's going to happen before you start writing. That is totally okay. I really do find that putting these scenes on sticky notes, writing them down, and then as I'm writing, I can just build on. And sometimes I'll read a scene and I'll be like, you know what, scrap that scene. That one's just not going to work after all. That's okay too. So, okay, the takeaways from this video. If you do not know what's going to happen in the story, that's okay. Just write down all of the scene ideas that you have, because that is going to most likely spark some ideas for future scenes. And then if you still have trouble figuring out things that are going to happen in your story, make sure your character is addressing their goal. So your character has to have a goal, and you have to figure out why they want that goal, why are they motivated to reach this goal, and what is going to be getting in their way. And then remember to also have a scene where something happens and then your character is going to react to that. So that's basically, I guess, the tips that I got from that writing class, and I do think that is helping me a little bit. But how do you outline when you don't know what's going to happen? Well, you just have to get to writing sometimes, and just sometimes that will inspire some ideas. So I hope this video is a little bit helpful. I don't know if I was explaining my process as well as it's playing in my head, but I hope that maybe this gives you some ideas on how you can outline when you don't know what's going to happen. And that's totally okay. You don't know everything that's going to happen, but you can figure it out as you go along. But as long as you just start, just start writing down the scenes, and you'll have some kind of plan, and you can go from there. It's so much easier to write a story when you know at least some of what's going to happen, rather than you just don't know anything at all, right? So give your character a goal, find out what's going to prevent them from reaching that goal, and then just try to go from there. So good luck with your story, good luck with your outlining. I do hope you tried this method out if you are thinking about it. I really do think this has helped me improve my story writing, and it's helped me write novels faster. So give it a try and check out my other sticky note videos. You can go to my channel page, you can check those videos out, and I do hope they help you as well. So thank you so much for watching my video. If you like this video, if you found it helpful, please give me a thumbs up. It does help my channel grow. And subscribe if you haven't already, because that also helps my channel grow. It helps YouTube push more videos out to other people. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Bye!